shit.
Yeah, that's enough. Hey, Coco, what's up?
Hi, Sid. What an intro.
I could have played the whole thing, but that's like 2 minutes long.
I
So
love that song
I love that song.
because
And
we love this movie.
yeah, and today's movie is What We Do in the Shadows.
It is an awesome movie that has gone on to be a series, but today we're going to talk about the movie and all the things we love about it.
I can actually talk about the series too because I watched the movie on Friday
Yes.
and then I got hooked on the series and I finished the whole
Did
four
you
seasons.
watch it all? Oh
I
my
watched four
goodness.
seasons, only one left.
Sid. Let's start with the movie. So it's written by a prominent New Zealand director.
Taika Waititi.
Yes, and
Yeah,
he also acts in the film.
he's the lead actor.
He's sort of the protagonist of the
Yeah.
vampires, and he's sort of the most apathetic, let's say, of the vampires.
Well, the easiest way to say it, like the nicest dude in the
He's a
movie.
he's in love with a woman who has aged, obviously, and he
Yeah.
hasn't. And now she's like 90 years
Nice.
old.
And the reason is funny because I think his familiar put the wrong stamps. It was a big joke on the post
Yeah,
service, right? Because if you put a
yes.
wrong stamp, they take ages to move one thing to another.
So good. It's a mockumentary. So it's a pretend documentary about a group of vampires living in a share house in New Zealand, which is where I was born. It is very Kiwi, but the vampires are mostly from other countries.
Yeah.
So, what do you love about it, Sid? What was your favorite parts about this movie?
Okay, so first of all, the way the documentary style
Hmm.
was amazing idea. The way they shoot it, because there were a few others, but I never got interested on that. But when I
Hmm.
watched this movie, the way like it feel like they are talking to me
Mm,
as an audience because
absolutely.
the way because they were talking to camera, it was like a weird thing, but it was amazing. And then they introduced themselves, like the way they start that the guy came out of the coffin, which is amazing.
So good. I love the outfit check because they can't see
Oh,
themselves in the
yeah,
mirror.
and then he called everyone to a house meeting.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a cool scene, right? Like they
Yeah,
are
so
vampires, but they
funny.
are like normal people, and
But they're
then they have
still
to.
caught up in, like, banality of living of share house living,
Yeah,
where someone doesn't wash the dishes for a long
yeah,
time.
yeah. Also, they care for the elderly because the Paul is like 8,000 years old,
Oh,
and they,
yeah.
yeah, the old
Peter
guy.
Peter living in Dun, and it's so funny because I grew up watching Bram Stoker's Dracula was
Yeah,
one of my favorite films, and he's such a Bram Stoker's Dracula. He's like this very decrepit ancient vampire, but
yeah,
the rest of them are so young comparatively.
yeah.
But even so, before they turn the youngest vampire, the youngest one who is like they say the cool rebellious vampire is
Oh
so
yeah,
fucking
Deacon.
old, Deacon.
Yeah, it's like 150 years old.
And I love it how everyone is caught in whatever era they were in. So they still try and dress exactly the same. They're caught up in like those social nuances from that time. No
Yeah.
one's moved on with the future.
The backstories are cool. Like for the young
Mm,
rebellious deacon one, he's like a
yeah.
Nazi vampire.
So
That was hilarious. Like, yeah, after World War II, if you were a Nazi, it was bad. If you were a vampire, it was bad. But if you're a Nazi vampire, it's over.
so
You have to run. That was like a
ah,
coolest story.
I love it. I love all the artwork as well that they put in. It's just done in such a like funny way. How they just slip in these like paintings and like charcoal drawings of
Yeah.
vampires. It's also tongue in cheek. The Beast when she made her appearance. So one of the
Oh yeah,
vampires,
beast. Yeah.
he has this like he describes it at first as like an arch nemesis, the beast, that he's fought for like generation after generation, and then it just turns out it's his ex.
X. Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't expecting that. Where the way they because this guy was Vlad Slav the Impaler.
Yeah, Vlad the
Vlad the
Impaler.
Impaler.
Yeah. He was like a real like warmonger. He did the
Yeah,
most horrific war crimes, and he really had it in. And when they showed like these
yeah,
slides of like artwork, it was like a beastly creation,
exactly.
but it's just his ex, and she's quite a normal woman.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great touch. That to
Yeah.
have like a woman over there. But yeah, the characters were good. Like I really love Vlad the Impaler as a
Yes.
personality in the past, and then he is in there. I don't know if it's not like exactly the same, but I think they try to hint it because
Yes.
they didn't mention that he was the Impaler.
Yeah, but there's lots of kind of artwork that
Yeah,
references, yeah.
yeah.
I think one of my favorite characters was Stu, who's not even a vampire.
Well, that's true because he is my favorite.
Is he?
So simple. Like he
Mm.
was always confused around them, a little bit scared, but he also like the way he acted was amazing. And then they loved him. They
They
loved him
adored
more
him,
than Nick. Yeah,
but they
more
wanted to
than
eat
Nick.
him. They said that he's just so pink.
Yeah. And then
So
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's the best friend of Nick, but they'd never like Nick.
Nick is a pain in the ass.
Yeah. He
Even
is.
even Nick's teeth, his vampire teeth is so idiotic.
Yeah.
And then he has to eat the chip
Oh,
against like better better
yeah, but
judgment.
before that, he tried to make a joke of the worm, like you're eating worm, but it
Yes.
only worked with noodles.
So
That didn't work, and he was like full, and then he ate that, and then he started puking blood.
so good. Everything about it is a great film. It's just so dry, so tongue in cheek. I love the vampire the vampires against the werewolves as well.
Vampire heals werewolf because
Werewolves,
technically
not
in the lore
swearwolves.
they are like mortal enemies. Vampires are always the winner, but in this movie it was opposite a bit. And
Yeah.
yeah,
But it's just in this movie I like as well, it's just such a petty argument. Like, it's
yeah,
not even really based on anything in particular. It's just this, like, known dislike for these other people, and it's sort of just no one knows why, but it's, like, carried on through the
yeah.
centuries. And the werewolves are such, like, goody two-shoes too.
Yeah, werewolves are really good. Like they're telling them to go away, but the
Yeah,
vampires just want to fuck with them, which is like
yeah.
true to the history. Like not in the history, but in the lore that vampires always try to fuck with the werewolves.
Yes.
Eventually, werewolves revolt. So that was a good touch in the movie because
So
werewolves are not usually the bad guys in the movies.
yes. Yeah, yeah.
Not in like if you are watching a werewolf movie, yes, they are. But if you're watching vampire versus werewolves,
Yes.
werewolves are the nice people.
Yeah, they're the nice guys, and
Yeah,
vampires are always, like, demonic.
yeah,
Oh, there's so many parts of that movie I really enjoy. I really like, yeah, the fashion scenes when they're dressing up
yeah,
in the dead clothing, and then they do sketches of each other.
yeah.
So
And
they
then
can
they say like they take the clothes of their victims,
yes.
which is funny, right?
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah,
And just yeah, when they meet the 2 children vampires, I thought was absolutely hilarious, who were waiting to kill a pedophile.
yeah.
So good.
That was actually good.
Yeah, there's just so many small parts of the movie I think that are just, like, so well thought out. They're so nuanced, but they just make the movie great.
Yeah, you know my favorite dialogue in the movie is like when they want the virgin to kill, like to drink the
Oh,
blood.
yes, yes.
Vlad said, like, it's nice when you know that your sandwich is not fucked by anyone else.
So good.
It was amazing. Like, the way they connected the
Oh,
dots here, like,
so funny.
that dialogue is imprinted on my brain. Because this is a true story about vampires. They love virgin blood.
They do. Well, they
Yeah,
think they do.
yeah,
They like the idea of virgin blood. It seems
yeah,
to be marketed a lot better than regular blood.
yeah. And now we know because they don't like exactly. I don't want to eat a sandwich which is fucked by someone else.
Oh, so good. I think one of my favorite scenes is the erotic dance scene where Deacon
Yes.
is wearing his like leather pants and he's doing this awkward cultural dance for his friends who are sitting on the floor. And
The
then
way
Nick
they are sitting,
interrupts.
like it was like very like they are actually watching the erotic badly dance in the
So
Ottoman
bad.
Empire. They used to sit like that, and then there's
Oh,
somebody dance. It was
everyone
hilarious.
just has to tolerate it. And then Nick comes in and ruins the moment. And it's like, he says, do you mind? I'm just doing an erotic dance for my friends.
Yeah, the way he said it was amazing. One more thing, the music, the old style, that
Yes.
whatever the instrument it is, I
It's
don't
a
know what they
horrible.
call it. It's so
It's some like
horrible.
yeah, it's some like wind instrument that's being played.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know the name of those things, but
Yeah,
it's annoying, but it fits
awful. And
perfectly
so
in
good,
this movie.
and
Yeah,
it's so unsexy.
yeah, and yeah, with the dance is perfect.
It's perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie. I do think like so I have watched a fair few of the spin-off series, and I think it is also very good.
Oh, it's actually, to be honest, after watching the whole like four seasons, I loved it more.
More, because there's
Yeah,
more of it.
because the actors. So first of all, one of my favorite actors is Matt Perry in general.
Mhm.
The the British guy in there with the
Yeah.
like a husband of that girl. So
Yes.
I really love him. He
Yeah.
is an amazing actor. He was in IT Crowd, the
Yes.
TV series.
Yes.
He just played the amazing role. So when I saw the cast, that's why I actually started watching it because oh, Matt Perry in there. So I started watching. Then they have a Persian vampire in there.
So funny.
Yeah, and
He just doesn't understand anything at all. He's just this giant.
and then the whole series is like every episode is fun. It's like watching a different movie. It's the same
Yes.
character. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So series is good too.
I like that the series also the accountant character is in there a lot.
Yeah,
The energy vampire.
energy vampire. Oh yeah, so I think I saw the first season back in the
Mhm.
day,
Mm.
and I somehow my brain mixed the energy vampire in this movie.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah.
I thought because like both of them I saw like when they came out, right? And
Yes.
then
Yeah, yeah.
I when I watched it on Friday, I saw where's the energy vampire? I remember energy vampire. Then
Yeah, yeah,
when I
Colin.
started watching the series, then I was oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mixed it. Yeah.
That's such a good random I love when Colin meets his match. He meets another energy vampire, and I work in the government, so these characters they are in existence. These
A-
people are
a-
there.
And I worked in an IT department, so
Yes, exactly.
for
You
years.
understand
So
exactly.
I know these people. They are there.
Yeah.
They're annoying as fuck.
I particularly like when Colin gives birth to himself. He
Yeah.
makes a small Colin. It makes no sense, but it's perfect in every way.
Yeah, and then like the whole fourth season, he is young boy.
Yes. Yeah, he rebirths into
Yeah, and
himself.
then he grew up like he just had the whole transition from boy to a kid to a teenager
Yes.
to to Colin again.
But he was as annoying in every phase, though. He doesn't
He
become
was,
annoying. He's just annoying to begin with.
and then what's his name in the movie? Matt Berry. Anyway, the character in Matt Berry, he tried to adopt him and tried to be a father figure to make him
Makes
better,
no
but he
difference.
makes no
An energy vampire is an energy vampire. I like your favorite character. He's the biggest pervert, and him and his wife both embrace that.
yeah.
He's just constantly having revolting orgies.
And then he was like a porno star too, right?
Yes, he
So,
was.
there's like a whole backstory of him when he was doing porno, but not just
So
like the
good.
movie porno, like from the back in
from
the
the
portrait
Victorian
areas.
times. Yeah.
Victorian, yeah,
When cameras were first being invented.
yeah.
Yeah,
His voice is amazing. The way he speaks is just like
yeah,
it's so funny. Like I
yes,
really
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Yeah,
I also love that they have a terrible band that they play in.
yeah. Oh yeah, we are back to the movie now.
Oh, are we? Isn't that in the series? Oh, I'm crossing over too now,
No, now
sis.
the band they have like in the movie.
Really? I'm sure it was
Is
in the
it?
series. Either way, it's great and
No,
terrible.
they can both have. I know for sure in the movie they have the band.
Yeah, okay.
Because in the starting scene they are playing some stupid instrument.
So good. All the sort of really the references from different eras are probably my favorite part. The fact
Yeah,
that even when you exist for an eternity, that you still will reference the time when you shone the brightest.
yeah,
So it's exactly as we do as human beings, right? Like
yeah,
old people still wear clothing from an era that's long gone. And it's the same with vampires, except it's now like literally hundreds and hundreds of years old.
yeah. Hundreds of years old. And
Hundreds.
go back to the set of the
Hmm.
movie.
Mm.
Like for TV series too, it's amazing. But like even for the movies, so
Yes.
creepy.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
made it look like a horror movie, but it's comedy movie at the same time. But the set is very horror, like it's scary.
Very, yeah. Perfectly
Especially the
horror.
Paul's area, Paul's room. They're like
Yes.
bones on the ground and everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, scary.
Yes, yes, when you go right down and they do take him a chicken in a sack.
Yeah. But Paul is like a nice guy because when he eats someone, he turn into a vampire.
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
all
yeah.
these four people in the like all these four vampires were turned by Paul.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Speaking
He
of turning into a vampire, they're familiars. They always want to be a vampire. That's why they serve them.
yes, and they never turn them,
They
it
never
turns out.
turn. They can turn anyone random, but not the
And they do,
familiar.
and they do. They sort of turn random people and
Yeah,
then they never make good on their promise. They're very slippery.
yeah,
That's the funniest part of all. They're just very reluctant and people are waiting around until they die. And then the vampires sort of just accidentally turn whoever they want.
yeah. Yeah, like Nick, he was like total accident.
Total accident.
Yeah,
And then they semi embrace him.
this they had to, right? They care for each other.
Yeah, you got to band
That's their
together
tribe. Yeah,
when you're the only ones in the city.
exactly. What this is
Oh,
like? There are like over 100
yeah.
vampires in Wellington.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a small community.
Small community.
What if you don't like any of them? You're stuck.
Yeah,
Humans die too quickly.
yeah. They should move to a big city because
Yeah, more
it's
vampires.
easier to get away with the crime, like
So
over
true.
there, and
Yeah.
then there are more people to eat, right? And then again, so many homeless people to eat.
Yeah, so many accidental deaths.
Yeah,
What do you think would you rate this movie, Sid?
eight,
Oh, I'm going
eight
to
point
give
five
it
actually.
I'm going to agree. I'm an 8.5 as well. I think
Yeah,
this is a really good movie. It's good. Like obviously love horror. So I think for a horror fan, it's good. Because it references a lot of great horror films, like a lot of great, really old horror films and kind of newer horror films as well. But
yeah.
I also think it's just a great comedy film. Even if you hate horror, you're going to love this movie.
Actually, yeah, that's the thing. This is why I actually watch it because you personally know I don't like horror
I
movies.
do. Yeah, I do know
Yeah,
that.
so I watch it because of the comedy of this movie.
Yeah, and it's very funny.
Very funny. And like again, Taika Waititi, the amazing director
Yeah.
and actor,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
he's the director of Thor, which saved the whole Avengers series because
Yes.
Avengers series, like all other movies from Marvel, were dying, and then Thor 3 came out and it was amazing. It was this director.
Yeah, it seems so wild because, like I was saying, New Zealand. where we came from is such a small country. So it seems absolutely crazy to have this talent that we now know around the world.
Yeah,
It's literally the tiniest island. It's so much smaller than
it's
Australia.
small, but like the greatest movie came from New Zealand.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, like
I've
the
been to
greatest
that.
movie.
I have been to the Lord of the Rings where it was shot. It is
Did
not
you?
my favorite film, but I know you love it, Sid.
Oh, I really love it. I think when I rate movies, my number
Yeah.
one movie is Lord of the Rings.
A lot of New Zealand looks like that, Sid.
Yeah, this is why I love New Zealand, because when
Yeah.
I saw I fall in love with this movie because of the picturization for the locations,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
turned out they were all in New Zealand. I'm
Yeah.
like,
A lot of them are not like fake
yeah,
CGI
I
or.
think everything, because I don't think back in 2003 they had good CGI to
Yeah.
create
Yeah. Yeah.
locations like
Yeah.
that, so they shot everything in on location.
Yeah, a lot of it is visitable. I had been to some
Yeah,
of it, and it looks as beautiful as it does in the film. It's not kind of like, sometimes you see things and you think that does
yeah,
not look how it did. But yeah, a lot of New Zealand looks like that, rolling green hills. But yes, we love this movie. We recommend it highly to anyone who wants a good, funny watch. Good horror references, good mockumentary references. Even if you love a good documentary, I think it's a great film for you.
yeah, because you will learn a lot about vampires and
And
werewolves.
werewolves. All right, Sid. Bye.
Bye.